the store. They're ready for war. Small soldiers, big battles!
Commando, report! Threat bazooka, ready to annihilate Gorgonite Star! Send in the major artillery, the buzzsaw tank! Special delivery from Slamfist! Commandos always win! I see it differently.
Small soldiers, big battles! You can get a hold of a small soldier. Figures and vehicles sold separately.
In this review, I'll be taking a look at the Small Soldiers Slamfist action figure. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button, as well as that like button. Let's start off by taking a look at the packaging. Slamfist is one of the deluxe figures in the line, and comes in an open box packaging, which allows one to physically touch the action figure. As a kid, I always loved when figures would come in these type of packaging. The figure is secured in the package by several twist ties. The bolter hand has a plastic covering over it to prevent it from coming loose or stolen. As you can see, the weapon is also bound by twist ties. Looking at the box art, in one corner we get the Small Soldiers logo. In the opposite corner, we get an illustration of Slamfist throwing the bolter. Below that we get the character's name, as well as a description of the action feature. Turning to the side, we get an image of the figure. Looking at the back, there are images of the other figures, as well as the vehicles in the line. Toward the bottom, there are images and descriptions that explain how to do the figure's action feature. Next to those is the same illustration as the front side. There are two bio read-ups, one for the Gorgonites and one for the character. Feel free to pause and read. Here's a look at the other side of the package. The bottom, and finally the top. Now with Slamfist out of the package, let's take a closer look at the figure. For those familiar with the Small Soldiers film, these are toys that are brought to life by computer chips. Slamfist is an ogre-like Gorgonite. Looking at the head, he has two large teeth sticking out of his mouth. He also has very bushy brown eyebrows, as well as brown hair on his head. The placement of the head on the body gives off a Hunchback of Notre Dame vibe. Slamfist's skin color is a light greenish yellow. He has brown spots all over his body, as you can see on the side of his head and moving down the arms. There is sculpting throughout the figure to suggest it has more articulation than the figure is actually capable of. Around the wrist is a brown painted wrap. Looking at the hands, I love the sculpted detail of the wrinkles and creases in the skin. While not painted, there are even sculpted fingernails. Looking at the left arm, there are more brown painted wraps on the bicep and wrist. They are a darker brown than what was on the right wrist. Here we come to the most defining feature of this character, and that being his left hand that consists of a small boulder. The rock is gray, while the wraps going all around it are the same brown as the wraps on the arm. Slamfist is wearing a furry, what I would call a caveman-like outfit. The outfit is blue, and there is a brown belt with strap going around his waist and torso. The sculpted fur turned out very nice. Moving down to the legs, the brown spots continue. Like the elbows, the knees and ankles has sculpted articulation that isn't actually functional. The skin has sculpted little bumps running all along them. Slamfist is wearing brown sandals on his large three-toed feet. Like the hands, there are nails sculpted but not painted. The great thing about the figure having large feet is you don't have to worry about the figure falling over, as looking on the bottoms of the feet, there are no peg holes. Taking a look at the back side of the figure, you will notice the sculpted ankle articulation a little bit better. While it is unfortunate these don't articulate, but I am glad they sculpted them at least. Here you can see more of that sculpted furry outfit. Unfortunately, there are 4 large screw holes located on the back. And here we have a better view of the elbow sculpted articulation. Now let's go over the actual articulation of the figure. The head is able to swivel left and right. The arms are able to move up and down. The boulder in the left hand can rotate. There is no articulation in the legs. The boulder hand is removable. Unlike the hard plastic on the rest of the figure, the boulder is made of a softer plastic. Once the boulder is removed, a silver peg remains on the arm. The boater can now be placed on the open right hand. Once it is placed in the hand, now we can do the action feature of the figure. As stated on the back of the package, with one hand hold down the figure, and with the other hand twist the upper body clockwise, and then simply let go. By doing so, the boater will go flying. This is a great way for Slamfist to take out his enemies. Once you are finished throwing the boater, be sure to place it back on the arm so it doesn't get lost. I have seen a lot of Slamfist figures missing the boater. Now let's look at the included weapon accessory. Slamfist comes with a club of sorts. The end of the club is sculpted and painted to look like it is made of stone. There even appears to be chips and cracks in the stone. The weapon is sculpted so his open right hand can fit into it. The handle is very nicely sculpted, but is all brown in color. I do really like the level of detail found on it though. As I already mentioned, the club is made to slide over the fingers on the right hand. Finally, here we have Slamfist fully equipped for battle, and I must say he looks really awesome doing so. Now let's compare Slamfist to some other small soldiers figures. First up, here we have Archer, leader of the Gorgonites. Staying with the Gorgonites, here is Freakenstein, Insaniac, and my personal favorite figure from the entire line, Punch It. Like Slamfist, he too was a deluxe figure. And finally, alongside Chip Hazard, the Commando Elite Leader. Comparing Slamfist to a few other toy lines from the 90s, here we have a Gargoyles Goliath, a Counter Batman the Animated Series Batman, and finally a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Michelangelo figure. You can see just how big the Small Soldiers line was. So that's my review of the Small Soldiers Slamfist figure. I think this figure turned out great. The figure very closely resembles the character from the film. The sculpting is nicely done, and I enjoy the action feature. Any fan of Small Soldiers should add this to your collection. Once again, if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, as well as click on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Hit that like button if you did enjoy this video, and follow me on social media, links are in the description below. Thanks for watching.